happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I'm super excited. This is one of my favorite days of the year, and it's followed by my second favorite day of the year. Do you know what tomorrow is?
May the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th. Really, it's
Revenge of the Nerds?
Really, it's Cinco de Mayo, and I really enjoy tacos.
Yes,
So.
Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo.
But that's tomorrow, and we're in today, and so we are going to totally talk about Star Wars.
Well, Baby Yoda is. Okay.
Thank you for joining us,
and
Baby
you
Yoda.
Are.
And
And
I am.
you are going to talk about Star Wars.
Yes. And you're going to talk about Star Wars.
I am going to try.
It's your favorite movie series, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that would be right. I saw a couple of them.
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
What was the first one? Wasn't it just called Star Wars?
That
That was the one.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. I just thought it was called Star Wars.
It is not called Star Wars.
When it came out,
4.
wasn't it called Star Wars?
I don't know. I wasn't alive then.
Okay.
Okay.
More serious.
Okay. So,
So wait, the first one was called Episode 4.
Yes.
So yes, that would be my favorite.
It was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite is Rogue One, which it's like the filler between.
Luke, don't go towards the light. Says Darth.
Or come join the dark side.
Yeah.
Which is what I would recommend. I like the dark side. Okay, so let's dive on into it.
Yep, let's get into it.
So let's talk about Star Wars.
Okay.
Let's specifically talk about Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, there's a character that was not in the first one. Anakin. I remember Luke, but I don't remember Anakin.
You do remember Anakin.
Right, but not a spoiler alert yet.
Wait, is that a spoiler?
No.
Have you not seen Star Wars?
I saw the first one. I told you. I saw Episode 4.
So, Anakin Skywalker, he has this huge journey.
Yeah.
And he is faced with a lot of temptation, and anger, and greed.
Fear.
And
Yeah.
and power. And these are all temptations that Christians struggle with as well.
Oh, I think all people.
Yes, everyone struggles with that. So how, what can we as Christians take from Anakin's journey?
Okay, your Baby Yoda's going to take a break for a second.
Baby Yoda is wise.
Okay, yes. Well, and just think about it. I mean, it was really describing some of the human condition and the things that we all deal with. Fear and those cousins that come up, the cousins of fear, anger, greed, and those things that we all have to deal with in our life.
Right.
And then it shows how it can impact either way on what you do with those and what you choose, which way you go, and if you're able to let those go.
Right.
Or not, and not be driven by fear or anger and not be driven by those. But I think it shows well of what happens when you are driven by those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
think that's a good question for everybody out there. So
yes.
Write down these. And for those Star Wars fans out there, for those that have seen more than just Star Wars Episode 4, there's be some good questions for you to think about. Talk to your friends. Or have a great conversation at dinner about it.
Absolutely. And
so for those out there, how is it like your own journey?
How is your journey like that of Anakin Skywalker? I like it. I like that. And then there's this shift. We see a couple of those shifts.
Okay.
A couple of those shifts. So we're gonna say there's this like rebirth, okay, of Anakin. Where, spoiler alert, Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
What?
I know!
Wait a minute.
Crazy, right?
Darth doesn't become Anakin. Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
becomes Darth Vader.
So Anakin really gave in to the dark, to the fear, the anger, and then there is what happens.
But But there is another rebirth, and there's a journey, and Darth Vader faces that journey.
Yes.
And there is another rebirth in Darth Vader becoming Anakin and saving.
Yes.
Kind of saving I don't want to say saving the galaxy, but he turned good. He kind of saved the day. He becomes a hero.
And, you know, that theme plays out in so many movies. We kind of see that theme even in Christmas movies, you know, not to steal away from Star Wars.
Movies.
Yeah, because that's the hope. That's what people want.
Yes, and we see it in the Bible so much.
In our faith, too.
And in our faith.
Yes.
And so what are some...
I mean, isn't that kind of the big thing about Easter?
Yes, rebirth,
you know,
right?
Rebirth, newness, new creation.
Well, and then
forgiveness.
You get this whole, like... So you see it in the character development in Star Wars. You see it in character development in the Bible. So what are some characters in the Bible? Like, what comes to me is, like, Saul and becoming that rebirth, that transition to Paul. And he went from persecuting,
well, he did that too, actually.
He
did. But persecuting
he was persecuting the church, and then he became a Christian and an advocate for Christianity and a disciple. And so I feel like that was that rebirth, and there's that character development, but also on the bigger scale, like, look at the whole galaxy in Star Wars, right? And there's there's the rebellion, and there's the empire, and there's this need and this yearning for the good to happen. We have that in Christianity too, when Jesus came and saved the world from our sins. And so I feel like not just in a character development, but society as a whole, you could compare it to Star Wars, which is fantastic.
Yeah, but
I'm really
it really does show the hope and the hope and the positiveness that comes from that. Yeah, so like with Saul, Paul, his Greek Roman name, Saul being his Hebrew name, on that, and with that though, even as it plays out through the early church after Jesus is resurrected, in what we call the book of Acts of the Apostles, in Acts 12 we have that story. They're persecuting. Peter gets arrested, but then he is freed. Really, and the story puts it in a miraculous way. But because they were really against the empire.
Yes.
The empire was persecuting. So, I mean, you just see all this. You can see a lot of Christology.
Yes.
You see a lot of the human condition, but you see in our humanness and our yearning for hope and newness and really for evil to be overcome by good.
Yes, which is kind of dives into my next question.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so you have the Galactic Empire, which is obviously evil, right? And then you have the Jedi Knights, who they want good. They want to be the good in the galaxy, and they devote their lives to being good and fighting evil. And as Christians, we should devote our lives to fighting evil. No, I'm just joking. To being good. We should devote our lives to being as
What's wrong with fighting evil?
Well, I mean, I guess it can do that, right? If only I had a real working lightsaber, I would, dominate that.
I'm sure you would.
But we need to devote our lives to being as Christ-like as possible and to being good. And you can see there are some Jedis, Anakin, who they let that temptation overcome them, and you see them fall, and you see them fall to the dark side. But the Jedis who don't do that, who really stay on the right course, on the right path to good, in goodness, they do so well in battling that evil. So us as Christians, we need to stay on that Christ-like path.
And and with that, excellent. With that, we might have our Darth moments.
I may have a lot of those. It's fine.
From Anakin and the Darth moments. But that's also because it shows the rebirth, but then, the forgiveness.
Yes.
That we're not always going to be able to, we might not be 100% good 100% of the time, doing
Right.
good 100% of the time, even though John Wesley, founder of the Methodist movement, said, do all the good you can in all the ways you can, all the time you can, and that's what we strive for.
Yes, absolutely.
But when we don't, then there's the forgiveness aspect.
Yes. I didn't think about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, isn't there the forgiveness aspect between
There is.
Darth and Luke?
Yep, absolutely.
On that?
Absolutely. So that's something that Luke strived for. He saw the good in Darth Vader and helped bring Anakin back. So
now wait a minute. Hold on. He saw the good.
I
in
feel yes.
Darth.
Yes.
Okay, and that helped bring the true self of, because Darth Vader, that we could say that would be like the false self, right?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the true self. So by being able to see the good in others and believing even 10%, see how powerful that can help in the transformation.
That's amazing, because I don't always see the good in people. And that can be really, really hard sometimes.
I think people should rewatch that clip, where Darth says, "I am your father."
I think people should rewatch the entire series. You know how
Disney
I'll be spending my
that.
weekend.
Yes, Disney appreciates that.
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate that. I am stuck in Disney. So.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, we have talked about a lot of fun stuff, but we want to hear what you think about some of this. So go to the comments section below. Write down your thoughts. Tell us what you think. What comparisons do you have from with Star Wars and Christianity? How does
your Christian journey?
Yes. How does the Star Wars journey compare to your Christian journey? So we want to know. So comment below.
Right. And
thank you, Baby Yoda. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this most amazing coffee and conversation. I wish I had a clever name
and may
for
the
it,
4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. We will see you next week for Coffee and Conversations. Bye, y'all.